It is a beautiful day, and we are going to be talking about a movie that is also kind of beautiful, but in a extremely brutal way.
I'm so wasted.
I'm sponsored by God.
Hostiles is written for the screen and directed by Scott Cooper and stars Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike, Rory Cochrane, Ben Foster, and a whole host of other great actors and actresses, alright? And I really liked this movie. It's a Western set in, I believe, 1892. The main character is played by Christian Bale, who is a Union Army captain who is assigned a mission to escort Chief Yellowhawk back to his homeland in Montana. However, the conflict of the story really revolves around the fact that Christian Bale's character has killed a ton of Yellowhawk's people, and Chief Yellowhawk has killed a bunch of friends that were friends to Christian Bale's character, and so they both adamantly hate each other, and yet Christian Bale has to make sure that Chief Yellowhawk survives. And I thought it was a fascinating story. Every performance is really terrific. Christian Bale does, in all honesty, in my opinion, some of his best work. This is probably my favorite Christian Bale performance in like the last 5 years or so. He is incredible. He does such a good job with the Western accent. He was in a Western called 3:10 to Yuma. It was also a really good movie a few years ago, and I thought his Western accent was fine, but it was really just more of his regular American accent. And this, though, he really had the Western vibe to his voice, and he was brilliant. You could see all the emotion in him. It was a very subtle performance that was just, it was unbelievably emotional, and you could see every bit of it in every crease of his face. He was terrific. Also Rosamund Pike was awesome. She gives, in all honesty, a heartbreaking performance. There are multiple scenes where it's hard to watch her because you're watching her grieve, and you can tell it's such a great performance because you don't want to watch her grieve because it's just so hard. I mean, it's a brutal movie. I mean, it's extremely violent, rated R for sure, and ultimately, like, oh god, it really is something to watch her grieve in this movie. As for Rory Cochrane, he was also quite good, and Ben Foster has a pretty small role, but it's good. He makes his footprint seen for sure. Other than that, as far as thoughts on the movie goes, I really thought that the message of the movie was quite good, because really this movie is a lot about hate. Christian Bale hates the guts out of Chief Yellowhawk, and Chief Yellowhawk hates the guts out of Christian Bale's character. And ultimately it's about these two characters who have done awful things to each other, coming to terms with their hate and almost making peace with it. And I thought it was a very beautiful thing in that way, because America did awful things to the Native Americans, obviously, but what I really liked in this movie and appreciated is whenever Americans would call Indians savages, sometimes, yes, they were calling them savages because we were racist, but sometimes certain tribes in the Native American cultures were they were very savage, and they showed that. And I mean, this movie, it really is a movie about hate and coming to terms with it, and coming to peace with it, and forgiving it. And I thought it was really good. I heard somebody say it was an anti-America film. I didn't see it that way. I think the point was that there was atrocities committed on both sides, both the white men against the Indians and the Indians against the white men. To me, it was a really good movie. I mean, it was a really good Western. There hasn't been a really good Western for me in a while, and I just really appreciated to see it. Other than that, I would say that my only problem with the movie is that the ending of the movie, it was a good ending, but there were about 3 endings. It kind of did Return of the King, where You keep on thinking it's going to end. You're like, oh, this is a perfect place to wrap it up. Oh, I guess they're going to keep going. All right, well, we're definitely going to wrap it up here. I guess we're going to go on for another scene. And that was a little annoying. The movie took a while to wrap itself up, but they were all good endings. I was just like, you could have just picked one, you know. Other than that, I would say it was... Other than that, ultimately, I would say that this was a really good movie, and I would recommend that you go see it. Not for the faint of heart, and I think the opening scene will really determine whether or not you're into this movie. I thought the opening scene was brilliant, but it is absolutely brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. Oh gosh. But anyways, for me and my score for Hostels, I would give Hostels an A- just because the ending wasn't super good for me. I thought it was fine, but just... They could have picked one ending. Anyways, guys, this is probably, I think, the only video I've ever done where I've, like, done hardly any editing at all. Well, no, there's been a few others, but I just didn't have the time or the energy to really make a bunch of cuts. So I do apologize if I've rambled a lot, although I think I've done okay. Anyways, I really am starting to ramble now. But anyways, if you have seen Hostels, please let me know what you thought of it. If you liked it or you hated it, let me know in the comment section below. I'll take a look at your comments. And as always, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to your friends about the channel. Check out all my other movie reviews and my playlist Carter's movie reviews. I'll leave a end screen at the end of this video. And make sure to never forget to be...